What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Jaron Ikner, aka Black One, back again for Starstruck TV. We're just going live to talk for a little bit. I'm not even sure if people will pop in. We never really are that successful with our live streams on YouTube. We're more popping on Facebook. Check us out on Facebook, Starstruck TV on Facebook. But I figured I'm trying to increase my content a lot, and I figured I would take this opportunity to go live and explain my grand Avengers theory in terms of where the MCU is going and what it really all means with Disney Plus coming out this November and all these shows that they're announcing and how it all ties together. So I actually kind of had this theory before they announced the What If series on they announced that for Disney Plus they're gonna do What If, and that basically if you follow the Marvel universe, What If is basically it follows the story of the Watcher. It's not even the story of the Watcher. It focuses on the Watcher, and the Watcher is the overseer of the multiverse in the Marvel universes. And basically, what he has the ability to do is play out scenarios that help, or that are basically like his theories on what would happen if this happened, or what would happen if this happened. So, a big example, I think, there's a what if Gwen Stacy didn't die, and the series of events, what happens after that. So, they're basically saying that they're going to go ahead and do this TV show, and that this TV show is going to focus mostly on events that happen over the cinematic universe over the past 10 years. And I think that this alone is a really big clue on what we're going to see on the end of Endgame. Now, if you remember the appearance of the Watchers in the end credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, we see that the Watchers do exist in this universe, and there is a theory that Stan Lee himself is a Watcher. Now, sorry, I'm trying to multitask a little bit. I do apologize. So now a lot of people just kind of wrote this off, like, oh, it's a gag, it's a call out to the comics, etc., so forth. But I think personally that this was probably the most telling clue of where they're trying to go from this point in the entire Marvel cinematic universe. They introduced the Watchers for the sole purpose of demonstrating that one, multiverses do exist. This is confirmed by the Watchers because that's what they do. That's their only purpose, is that they go and watch multiverses. And two, it sets up a course of events for where moving forward into the next phase, to where even Kevin Feige, the overseer of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he basically came out and said that after Endgame, they're no longer focusing on a uh, a linear form of storytelling. They're still going to tell stories, but they're not going to be focusing on like an overall arcing theme like they have been with the Avengers universe leading up to Infinity War and Endgame. So, and this is going to be apparently clear in the new Spider-Man movie and all the movies that have been announced, Black Panther. So my personal theory, getting to the point finally, is that basically when the end game is the end game. Like this, that's the end of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we know it. And what's going to happen is that we're going to see what if stories and different scenarios play out over the course of however long they could decide to continue this. So we don't know all the fine details of Far From Home yet. But one of my big theories is that it's going to be a Far From Home that exists in a universe where Tony Stark doesn't have as much influence on Peter Parker. Now, how this turns out is really debatable, but the idea is that he still will be recruited by. He still knows Tony Stark, but Tony Stark just doesn't have as much influence or impact in his world. And so that's the what if scenario. Like, what if uh, Tony Stark didn't have the influence on Peter Parker that he had, and so he winds up getting recruited by Shield. Yada yada yada. That's the events that you see in Far From Home. Now, this is totally speculation. The movie's not out yet. We don't let me include the movie's about. But what we're going to see is that we're going to start seeing non-linear stories that take place either before or after Endgame, because it doesn't really matter at this point. But they're isolated stories that may or may not be visions of what Uatu or whatever watcher they decide to give us. Um, the idea is that we just keep getting these isolated stories, and if they decide to continue on a particular story because it's popular, they could. So this is also how you go about introducing the Avengers. No, sorry, not the Avengers. This is how you go about introducing the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. You can do Doctor Doom. You just create various different what-if scenarios. Like, what if the Fantastic Four existed during Infinity War? What if X-Men existed? What if mutants already existed in the universe? And I'm saying they can just go back and reset the universe and insert things accordingly how they choose to. And this also makes it easier for them when it comes to character development because, or actors on the studio backside of things, because you can just always switch it up. And it doesn't have to make sense anymore. So basically, the whole idea is that by launching the What If series, that's going to be the basis for everything. Because let's think about this from a logistical standpoint, like the money and the bread. How do you get people into the MCU? Or sorry, how do you get people into Disney Plus? I mean, obviously, it's going to do numbers. We know this. Like, it's Disney Plus. The price point is ridiculous. We're getting the entire Disney catalog. It's already fire. But to have new content, you introduce the What If saga at the end of Endgame. Now you have a 3 to 4 month gap of like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And then boom, the What If TV show on Disney Plus is the next route, introducing these new worlds and new characters over and over again. They've already announced um, 4 or 5 different shows for Disney Plus, which includes they're doing a Vision and Scarlet Witch show. They're doing a Hawkeye show. They're doing a Falcon and Winter Soldier show, and they're doing I can't think of the last one. But the point is that they're doing all these shows, and it's already confirmed that these shows take place randomly during events before and after MCU. What that means is that we're going to see what if scenarios play out over and over again until they get tired of it. It's really a genius move from a studio perspective because they crush the linear narrative, but they can still keep it if they choose to. At any point in time, they can just have someone interrupt the watcher. Or there's a lot of it's really an endless possibility of stories that they have to tell with the What If saga. Because if you introduce that to the movies as well, you no longer have to worry about all these movies connecting anymore, but they still are connected. They spent the last decade building this universe, so we already are invested into it, whatever they decide to do, but they don't have to focus anymore on trying to get to an overarching plot that's 20, 30 movies down the road. So now they can just go wherever direction they want. If something hits, it hits. Let's say that they decided to have a what if where what if Wolverine existed, and it goes and it does what it does, and say it flops. It says it's terrible and nobody likes it. It doesn't matter. They don't have to worry about how that affects the overall universe because that's no longer an issue anymore. Like, it could just be a one-off and that's it. Or it could be fire and people will be like, oh, well, let's go ahead and make a sequel. And we'll keep continuing that particular universe. It really is brilliant. But we'll see. Avengers comes out in a couple weeks and we will finally have all our answers answered. I have a couple more theories that maybe I may share, may not share, but we'll see how it goes. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave them in the bottom and make sure you follow Starstruck TV, subscribe to all our page, all the stuff that we say on these videos that we're supposed to be saying, you know the deal. This is your boy Black One, aka Jaron Ikner. We appreciate you. Make sure you check out Parallax. I'll probably put a link in the comment section, but it's the new multimedia experience inspired in part by the MCU that features music, videos, games, and more. So check that out. That's going to be in the comment section too. And we appreciate each and every one of y'all. We are out. I'm honestly trying to stall because I want this video to be exactly 10 minutes. I got 10 seconds left. But I love you. Peace. We'll see you soon. Woo! Start short, bitch. And that is 10 minutes right